Yeah. Formerly known as Mosport, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, nestled in our Friends of the North State, Canada, Canada. It is ready to go for the next round as the final 3 races before the quest for the playoffs begin for season number 2 of the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series Monday night right here. And tonight we're going to see what these road course ringers will do here, taking on some of our NASRA stars. Should be a fun one here this evening. Good evening. Welcome to coverage of NASRA. I am Wesley Outland. Joined alongside is producer, director, and color analyst Adam Flieger. Adam, we're going to see what happens on the road courses of the 12-turn Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. By the way, you got the Corkscrew, you got Quebec Corner, you got Clayton Corner. Very unique racetrack. It should be an exciting, fun time tonight. Welcome aboard, buddy, and glad to have you back.
Oh, it's good to be back here in the booth. And I'm sorry, I'm still struggling here. A little moment with the SDK. I know Friday night stream had some problems with it, but I wasn't waiting to control that. But I think we're going to be in for some great racing here at the Canadian Tire Motor Speedway. I think I said that right.
Canadian Tire Motorsports Park is actually the official term of the name of it, but it's all good. Mosport and CTMP, whatever they call it. So should be a great show as we get ready to go racing here very momentarily. Thanks for watching. Before we begin, let's take a look at the point standings leading up to tonight's events here. For the Millie's Restaurants and Catering 150, here is a look at your points. Very crucial, no doubt, Adam, as we approach the final 3 races of the regular season. If you don't have a W like those 8 drivers in the top 8 in the points, you better make your desperation moves count now. And a road course like Canadian Tire could be a wild card for sure. Can you hear me, bud? Can you hear me, Adam? Oh, where's your audio? Where's your audio at, buddy? Oh, we'll have to. Are we gonna need to step away for a minute? So I'm understanding that people can hear me, but they can't hear Adam. We're working on that behind the scenes. So the show. Real quickly, let's take a look at the NASRA Power Rankings. Adam Newton is currently the man of the top spot for swim. Joey Stiers is now in second for RREV Racing. Tyler Dittmer not present tonight, obviously, for Highline Racing is third, along with teammate Hunter Parsons. Brute Force Motorsports, Nathan Maurer, currently your top 5. And there's a look at the top 22 as you look at all that going on here from the aerial view of Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. We're working on some techno difficulties around the scenes. We're trying to get Adam Flieger to be able to chime in and join us in the field.
I can chime in now. It's just I couldn't chime in through those points and power rankings.
Oh, okay. So they could hear you. They just couldn't hear you while you were showing the statistics. Yes. I got you. All right. Well, let's go racing, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the starting lineup for the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150 here tonight. Of course, the race will be 150 miles the distance. All the details coming up here tonight will be 2 stages, by the way. Stage 1 will go to lap 12, and then there'll be stage 2 to lap 24. I believe there will not be a caution on the first stage to the second stage. However, when stage 2 is completed, there will be a Serve Pro caution thrown out for the final 46 lap sprint to the 36 lap sprint to the checkered flag. 3 total sets of tires, 100% fuel capacity, no fast repairs as always. You wreck them up, you tear them up, you might be out. And there's 3 attempts on overtime for a green right checker. But to be honest with you, Adam Flieger, we're on a road course. I just foresee that not happening. I just don't see that happening. I think we're going to go a straight 60 laps to the checkered flag here tonight in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150, my friend.
And the only way I see that happening is if we have a total course blockage. Which, I haven't really seen too much in the likes of road courses.
You mean the big one? The big one on a road course? Yeah, I don't foresee that happening either. We'll see how all this goes down, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, that's where we're at tonight. As we give you the starting lineup real quickly, let's give them the lineup on the board. Getting ready to go to green here.
Get ready to go to green, and unfortunately I'm struggling with the lineup here, trying to get it up on my end so I can see it.
Okay, well, I'll knock it out real quickly myself because I do have time and it's scoring. Cole Hendrickson and Mike Sargent, row number 1. Blake Lothey and Hunter Parsons, couple of Toyotas in row number 2. Adam Newton and Brady LaBeouf make up row 3. Kerry Tribune, Lance Miller, row number 4. Then it's going to be Jason Morales, Michael McKinnon, row 5. Stephen Thomas, Ed Osborne will be your top 6 rows. There they are right there. So now you're caught back up, Adam. That is your first 6 rows. Stephen Thomas, Ed Osborne, Broadfoot, as well as Hamilton, Doucette, Klinkhardt. Top 13 rows. Row 14 will find Chew and Moore. Of course, Steve Barnett, Robert Richards, Raul and Jeffrey Johnson Jr., the 22 drivers, ready to go here as the field is coming down to the start. Green flag in the air. We're underway. 60 laps on what looks to be a very cloudy day for the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150. Adam, we're watching them come off the green on the hole shot, and it looks like we're trying to fight just our visibility with the fog around this racetrack on the opening lap.
Definitely some fogginess at Canadian Tire. I saw that earlier as I was getting all my cameras and everything set up around this speedway. The fog is definitely going to be a little bit of a hindrance, I think, for us, not so much for the drivers.
So Mike Sargent will be the man that is going to jump out quickly to the lead of the number 41 machine. Right now on the opening lap, Mike Sargent, Blake Lothey, and Cole Hendrickson. Hunter Parsons, Brady LaBeouf, top 5 single file. They work their way off of Quebec corner into Clayton corner. Now climbing up the straightaway here. That's called the Mario Andretti straightaway. Speeds can pick up at almost to 150 to 170 miles an hour. And I was understanding this afternoon when I was checking in with Hunter Parsons, actually, and Brady LaBeouf during practice, Adam Flieger. They were saying that these trucks are definitely handling problems around this track tonight.
I can definitely feel that. I went and decided to take my on-the-pole Toyota out and try to take a couple laps myself, or at least a couple corners. And for my standpoint, my Toyota seemed a little tight, but that, I don't understand, like I've told many before, this one I wonder is usually on a dirt track, not on asphalt. They're riding down here like we're still on board with Hunter Parsons. You still there, Wesley? I lost Wesley, or my cohort Wesley there or not. We just started lap 2, I think. I'm getting lost around Canadian Tire here this evening. Mike Sargent's still out front. Cole Hendrickson is third. As you see, coming up the side here. Noticing a lot of tight turns here at Canadian Tire. Raul Mez on him. Trying to figure out where we're at on the racetrack because we got Brady LaBeouf here in 4th, Hunter Parsons 5th, Lance Miller in 6th. Still up front though is it's at 41 machine truck of Mike Sargent, followed up by Blake 43. Little bit of gap back to 3rd place, 101 of Cole Hendrickson. Up and Hunter Parsons rounding out your top 5 right behind him. Lance Miller 6th, Michael McKinnon is sitting 7th, Stephen Thomas 8th, Barnett 9th, and rounding out your top 10s, the number 1 machine park. everything's okay with Wesley. Not sure exactly what happened. Oh, he Wesley will be back here barely. As the 40, still trying to catch up to 41. Mike Sargent. I don't know the road course area names as well as what Wesley does, so hopefully he gets back to help me out learning
Adam,
them.
Adam, I'm back. I'm sorry, buddy. I think it's storming really badly outside, and I think it just knocked out the power. So we had a power flicker here, and it went out for just a second, but I'm back up and running again. So hopefully you can hear me, and the show rolls on, brother.
Well, we are still rolling on, like I was just telling the audience, the viewers out there. Hopefully you can teach me these corners that these drivers are going through.
Well, I was actually just about to give you a Canadian Tire Motorsports Park racetrack 101, if you will, to give you the examples of what every racetrack is, because I mentioned Quebec Corner and I mentioned the Mario Andretti straightaway. So this is what we're gonna do. The next time that they come around, the leader is, and that's, I believe, Mike Sargent right now in truck number 41. So the next time that they come to the start-finish line, what I'd like you to do, Adam, is not only as a color analyst, but also as our producer-director, do an aerial view above the racetrack, and I will give you the lay of the land. That is the track map here at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. So once we get the driver coming down the front straightaway, which I think is right about now, here he comes off of turn number 10. And there's the front straightaway. So you're watching him now work his way off of White's corner. Then he'll make a right-hander to turn number 1. Turn 1 is the first turn. It's a sharp right to 2A. This is Clayton Corner. Clayton, obviously a special name for me because I'm from Clayton and radio voice of the Clayton Comets, but that's not anything in Canada. Clayton Corner. From 2 to 2A, they'll work their way into the turn 3 area, which is Quebec Corner. Very popular, known in Canada. Quebec Corner will then weasel around to turn number 4 under the Canadian Continental Tire Bridge. And then they go from turn 4 to 5 to 5A, 5B. Here's a tight corkscrew known as Moss Corner. Races can be won or lost with that happening right there from Moss Corner. From 5A to 5B off of 5C, they work up that Mario Andretti straightaway, where I mentioned before the lightning flickered and knocked off the internet. Powers can pick up 150 to 170 miles an hour, depending on the bravery of these guys. Off the Mario Andretti straightaway from turns number 6, 7, 8. Now through the S's of the racetrack here. Around turn number 8 and 9. From the S's, they'll work their way to turn number 8 and 9. Off of turn number 10, back to White's corner, down to the start-finish line. And ladies and gentlemen, here he comes. And that is a lap, Adam Flieger, around Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, and a little elaboration of all the corners.
And you're going to quiz me on this later, right?
There will be a test, and yes, there will be cookies and milk if you get it right.
I don't know if I could remember all that, but it took me almost all race a couple weeks ago when I was announcing a different race to get the corners and straightaways of Watkins Glen figured out.
Well, Watkins Glen is actually, that's the bus stop, and that's the boot if we did have the boot.
You got the carousel and the Paramount. I mean, I learned it, but it took me about all race long to learn it. Still with us there, Wesley? Things like you went quiet.
I am. I'm back. I'm back, man. I'm sorry. I was asking somebody to check to make sure that we had everything sounding okay on my end, because it is storming outside. Adam, it's storming here tonight. Strong winds, strong thunderstorms, gusty winds is what the forecast is calling for. And literally right now it is storming. And Hurricane Idalia is on the way to hit where I live at as well, Adam.
Where are you located down there?
So obviously I live in North Carolina. I live in Smithfield, North Carolina now, because I have recently moved like yesterday. I lived in Clayton for a long time, but it's literally about 100 miles from the Carolina coast, and I promise you we will be feeling the effects of the hurricanes whenever they come in. And I just want to blame Adam Andy Marquise, because a friend of mine from the racing world, a couple of weeks ago, we were chatting about, well, Labor Day weekend, hurricane season's probably going to fire up, and what's going to happen with racing. And Andy Marquise, this is your fault, and I am not entertained, because he jinxed us. So it's all good though. But we'll press on, and I'm glad we're back connected again, Adam. And right now we just keep on with Mike Sargent, obviously our friend of the North from Canada leading. There's Lance Miller. Had a really good run, obviously, in the All-Star race a couple of weeks ago on the dirt at Eldora. But currently, Mike Sargent, Blake Lothian is in second.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you, Adam, he's my pick. Blake Lothian's my pick to win this race.
Oh, he's looking strong out there in the second position. Maybe learn a couple strategy calls or learn a line or two from Sargent. He's staying right with him, though. He's not really getting too far, letting him get too far ahead. Now, with road courses, what's the tire wear like?
All right, so look at that. Going off track just a little bit goes Cole Henriksen. Hold on to that save there. Blake Lothian right behind him. And I'll tell you what, Adam, look at here, Hunter Parsons, Miller, this is your top five. Everybody's kind of riding right now. And I'll be honest with you, this is probably the best thing to do right now, because you're in stage one. You're on lap number 8 of 60. So you just need to just log laps right now. You're not in any pressure to try to, at a risk of wrecking or going a lap down or anything right now. You're just in the start end of this race. Fill your truck out. Figure it out. Figure out the handling. Figure out how you're going to get through this visibility also with the fog that we mentioned, Adam. And just be patient.
I'm thinking for us, though, the fog's more of a hindrance than the drivers. If we're looking at the gyro cam out of the front of Hunter Parsons, seems like he's got pretty good visibility. I think it's just us from the air trying to look down through the low-hanging clouds.
Hunter Parsons from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Obviously our football buddy. Packerhead, getting ready for football season. I will say this, Adam, in the Pittsburgh Steelers look really, really good this year. I'm very, very excited for what I saw with Jenkins and everything in the preseason. They went undefeated, so.
They did look good. And the other team that I watch is other PA team. I watch both as much as I can. But unfortunately, being above Pittsburgh, I think I'm in a blackout zone for the Eagles. Don't always catch the Eagles.
Got you. Wow.
The Eagles are my main team, and Pittsburgh's my secondary.
Well, there's always next year. You know, the Eagles did go to the Super Bowl with, of course, Jalen Hurts and his success of what he did at Alabama. Roll Tide. Alabama football fires up, obviously, this Saturday with Middle Tennessee State. So I'm looking forward to that.
You know, the best Super Bowl win I think I watched was watching the Eagles beat Brady. I think that was my best time watching.
Oh, yeah. When Donovan McNabb took Tom Brady to the woodshed. Yeah. Lap 9 of 60, that's football. We're chatting racing, but obviously everybody's excited if you are the fan of the gridiron and firing those pigskins. Football season is back in full swing, not only on the high school, college, and now professional level. Is, of course, the final week of preseason wrapped up with the Houston Texans beating the New Orleans Saints last night. So 10 of 60, 50 laps to go. Stage number 1. Now, remember, if I remember correctly, Adam, stage 1 will go right into stage number 2. However, there will be stage points awarded to the top 10 at the end of the stage.
I do believe that's how the road course action works. Stage 1 rolls into stage 2, but stage points run it that lap.
Yep.
And then the caution will be thrown after the second.
So right now, Mike Sargent, truck number 41, continuing to lead the way. Mike Sargent, again, just kind of as the driver, Mike Sargent, working his way around the racetrack. And I got a response from somebody about my comment in regards to the New Orleans Saints. So, and obviously we know Brady LaBeouf's from Louisiana too. So obviously he's probably a Saints fan. But anyhow, Mike Sargent is leading. Blake Lothian second. Cole Hendrickson third. Brady LaBeouf, Hunter Parsons. Right now, your top five. Mike Sargent's still out in front there, Adam.
Well, I'm being told by another little nerd that this isn't fog here at this racetrack.
Oh. Is it fire? Is it fire?
Yeah, it's the smoke from the wildfires.
Ha 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 ha! Very funny. I mean, actually, I wouldn't joke about the wildfires up in Canada right now. It actually is sad. So, but I don't think it's Keith. That's Keith Bradley. I know it is. I just seen his comment. Oh well, thank you, Keith. It's not wildfires, everybody. It's the fog from the visibility. I wonder what time of the day. Adam, what time of the day was this race started? Was it like early in the morning? Like 10:30 in the morning, I think, maybe sim time.
If I can find the race time,
It says partly cloudy. 73 degrees. Track temp at 113 right now.
It says that it started at noon.
Okay, so 12 noon. Okay, well, maybe it's just a foggy day. So, Keith Bradley, the animal, says, much love, Wesley. Thank you, Keith. Yeah, man. Always great catching up with a buddy out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Which, by the way, Keith, I am so sad to hear that the Great Lawrenceburg Speedway in Indiana is shutting down shop at the end of the year. That was another big shocker, Adam Flieger. I know you live in Indiana. I couldn't believe that.
No, I don't live in Indiana.
Where do you live at?
Western PA, 15 minutes from, well,
Pennsylvania.
not even, probably about 10 minutes from Lernerville Speedway.
Yeah, Sarver. Hey,
Yeah.
how far are you from Bedford?
Oh, I'm not exactly sure.
So I'll be announcing at Bedford in September the 20th to the 23rd for the Troutman Family Memorial. 4 days of racing. I'm looking forward to that one. Dirt car racing, modified mafia.
I'm not sure how far I am from Bedford.
You should look at it. Check it out. You should check it out. Yeah. I love meeting my iRacing peeps and friends, right? So.
Now you see why dirt track is so close to me, since I got a dirt track like minutes from the house.
Yeah, man, Lernerville Speedway. So it's just, yeah, I've announced there before. Sarver, Pennsylvania. Erie Speedway, I've announced the Erie's. So, September sweep weekend. Hard to believe the season's flying by, man. We're all going to be stuck back indoors doing iRacing broadcasts again, Adam, because it's going to be too damn cold outside.
That's right.
Hey, so we wrapped up stage number 1, coming out of the corner right now to the line. It is Mike Sargent winning stage number 1, but there will not be a caution, obviously, when the top 10 cross the scoring loop. Sargent, Lothian, Hendrickson, LaBeouf just crosses the stripe as well. That's your top 4. Hunter Parsons in 5th, Lance Miller 6th, Stephen Thomas 7th. Michael McKinnon, Jacob Klinkhart, and Derek Kilgore are your top 10, by the way. All Chevrolets, 6 Chevrolets, 4 Toyotas in the conclusion of stage number 1. When it's all said and done, Blake Lothian now just going around Mike Sargent to take the lead, but it'll be stage 1 to Mike Sargent. Now remember, we're in stage 2, presented by Glass Mechanic, obviously. But here's the deal, Adam Flieger. There's no caution, as we mentioned. We'll go all the way into the Glass Mechanic Stage 2 here for the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150. Now, when we reach lap number 24, then a yellow flag will be displayed to the field, and we will have a caution.
And that could very well be our only caution as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Lance Miller get off the track.
Yeah, we probably will see that all of this happening. So big thank you.
Richard seems struggling a little bit here tonight.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's struggling, honestly, Adam. We're early in the race, man. Obviously, he sits right now, and, you know, I think there might be some strategy here. So if we could maybe grab some drivers for interviews while they're road course racing. Let's say they're not on the round track, but maybe we could see if maybe we could grab somebody and try to chat with him. Obviously, let's see if we can grab Richards real quickly. Matter of fact, we'll try to holler at him and kind of figure out his strategy as he is racing on the course. I'm going to try to pull some SRX interviews with races going on. Robbie Richards, it's Wesley in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, so Adam thinks you're struggling. I think it's all strategy right now. What's going on with the Gaffney, South Carolina, number 48 right now for Trump Vineyard?
It's 100% struggling. 100% struggling.
So what's going on? Why are you struggling for it?
I have no idea. I can't keep it. I can keep it on the track. I don't know. Lap 1, I nailed the wall. Don't even know how I ended up in there. I did the same thing in practice and it just switched straight. I don't know if I made some contact early on when they got bunched up or something. I'm not sure. And it's just been downhill from there.
Adam, I guess you got it right, boss man.
Oh yeah, it's struggling. It's 100% struggling.
Kind of look like me if I was going to go road course racing.
Oh, I hate road courses. I hate them.
All right, brother. Well, we'll let you get back with your brute force motorsport. Oh, what you got, Adam?
I said there's only 2 road courses that I enjoy, and that is Watkins Glen and Sonoma. Other than that, I hate the rest of them.
Yeah, I came in here, we had a good run last week. I come in here, I was like, if I could just maintain pace, stay on the track, I could probably make some positions, and I failed miserably at it. And then we got Friday, we got another road course, probably gonna fail at it too.
Robbie called me this afternoon the road racing voice of an angel, so I thought maybe what would it be like if I was an angel or a devil talking to you while you're on racetrack mode, so. Go get him, man.
We're going to try. I'm going to get some repairs done. I know I'm pretty far back here now, but if I could just get some, I'm just taking this practice now for if we ever come back.
You need a caution more than ever, right? You need a caution more than ever.
I need caution. I need a couple people to leave, Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, we appreciate it, man. There's the Brute Force Motorsports driver 48 of Robbie Richards again. And Adam, he didn't get that mad interviewing him under a green flag. Maybe we could try this again.
He's sitting in the pits there.
Do what?
He's sitting in the pits. That'd probably be why.
Oh, I thought he was on the racetrack.
Oh, he's sitting there on pit road.
Oh. Let's try this again. Let's find somebody else we could talk to. See what's going on in their life while we're on the racetrack at the same time here. So let's see if we can catch up with the boss of Nazareth, Louisiana's Brady LaBeouf, and see where Brady's at on the racetrack. We're gonna interview him while he's on track racing on the course. Hopefully he doesn't get mad at me. Brady's sitting in third right now. Brady, how's it going?
It's squirrely right now, Wesley.
So Robbie said he hated the place. What do you think of Mosport right now, CTMP?
Robbie's the reason why this track's on the schedule. He said he loved this place, and then we got in a practice session, and he says he hates it.
So I gotta ask you, we're having a little bit of visibility when the race started 16 laps ago, as far as calling the racing in the booth. What's the visibility like, and has it improved, obviously, approaching halfway with the fogginess out here? And as Keith Bradley said, it's not fire smoke either. It's fog.
Yeah, it's definitely fog. But no, you could see it's not that bad. I know it's probably bad from spectating, but it's not bad for us.
All right, man. Well, right now, you're sitting in third. What's your strategy? If you don't want to give away all your secrets, you don't have to. But obviously, your guys kind of being consistent right now, riding and driving, as I said when we came on the air.
Well, it's I'm trying to pinpoint the fuel right now.
Gotcha. Pinpoint the fuel. Adam Flieger, got anything for Louisiana's Brady LaBeouf in the top 3 right now?
Other than just wishing him luck here, as he's running top 3 at the moment.
All right.
We're going to try to keep it there, boys.
We'll see how it all goes right now. Again, that driver is Brady LaBeouf. And don't deduct my pay for interviewing you in race mode. We're just trying to fill content in. It looks like you're doing good out there.
No problem, buddy. Good luck to y'all.
For, of course, doing really good is Brady LaBeouf. Again, the driver sits currently in a nice spot on the racetrack. Still a long way to go, by the way, for the number 24 machine for Mission 1 Esports. And speaking of Mission 1 Esports, I better put him back in his box with his teammates. So there you go. Adam Flieger is here. I'm Wesley Outland. We are short without William Tiller. He's on hooky. He's still enjoying vacation. I don't know what he's doing. Michael McKinnon said he wanted to race tonight. So I said, okay, well, let's just let Michael McKinnon just, be in raced and not be in the booth. So it's all good. Right now, he currently, the Pleasant Hill, Illinois driver, sitting in the truck number 13 on the track, is currently in 8th. So no wonder he didn't want to be in the booth tonight. He actually looks like he's doing pretty well here at Mosport, Adam.
He does look like he's very comfortable sitting within the top 10 drivers at at Canadian Tire. Another driver I want to point out, and hopefully I don't put no commentator curse on him, is Eric Kilgore is up 17 spots since the start of this start of the race.
Doing really, really well, Derek Kilgore, man. Well, if he wrecks, it's your fault. No, the man for swim is doing really, really good. Matter of fact, let's snag him and grab him right now. Up 18 spots and still climbing. Derek Kilgore, DSR Electric number 11 Toyota, looking good tonight here at Mosport. Derek, you got a copy? Oh, no. See, now this is why I didn't want to talk to him. Look at this. Oh, man, he went off track. It's my fault. I'm sorry, Derek. Let's put him back where he belongs. All right, Adam. No more interviewing drivers on the racetrack at the same time. That's not going to work anymore. Oh, I am never going to hear the end of this. I promise.
I don't think either one of us are.
So, anyhow, Derek Kilgore, who had a really, really good run until Wesley's golden pipes made him run off course, is back on the track again. And we are now working lap number 18 of 60 laps here in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150. Blake Lothian, Mike Sargent, Brady LaBeouf, Cole Henriksen, and Hunter Parsons currently your top 5. In 6th is Hunter Parsons. I'm sorry, I said Hunter Parsons. Lance Miller is 6th. Stephen Thomas is 7th. Michael McKinnon 8th. Jacob Klinkhart 9th. And Adam Newton is currently in the top 10. So that's the way it stands. So all of this working on. There's Adam Newton working his way around the racetrack. Adam Newton is in 10th. Jason Morales, here comes the 5, trying to sneak in the battle there. Pretty good run for him as well, Adam. I don't want to jinx anybody, obviously.
No, the 5 looks really, really good. Battle for that 10th position in the next lap, or maybe even later this lap. Now the other one I keep looking an eye on is the 101 Henriksen, as he seems to get right up to Brady, but doesn't. Look, I don't know if he figured out how to pass Brady yet. Well, it's one of them things. They say you can catch him. It's another thing to pass him.
It's the truth, though. It's one thing to pass him. Oh, well, hold on there. Oh, boy. Cole Henriksen getting a little aggressive, too. By the way, the words of the animal, we are grounded, Adam. We're grounded.
What room are we being sent to since we're grounded? I don't know.
We are being sent to our timeout room on a carpet square with a little small carton of milk and a pouty face. So, Brady LaBeouf and Henriksen going at it now. This is for 3rd. Brady LaBeouf was in that 3rd spot. Henriksen right there behind him. You know what? We interviewed 3 people or 2 people. We said, okay, 3rd time's a charm. Let's get Derek Kilgore, highest climber of the race, and then bam, he spins out and goes off the track. So I'll take blame for that. So, and luckily he didn't say anything, because I probably would have wanted to hear what he had to say.
Well, we might hear
Derek,
about it later on.
I'm sure we're probably going to hear it. I'm going out in the public note to tell everybody I apologize. If I'm not here next week, you know what happened.
I think you'll be here. That would be probably why I'm not usually in the booth behind the scenes running cameras.
Yes, yes. So, all good. And right now, again, as it says, we're watching all of this great racing going on here on the iRacing course of Canadian Tire Motorsports Park and Mosport. And obviously, the driver, Blake Lothian, in the lead. Adam, you heard me say this, and I said it earlier. I believe he's my pick to win it. And right now, obviously, he is still the man out in front and leading the way.
Well, it's definitely going to come down to either Blake Lothian or Mike Sargent, as they have put a gap between them and Brady LaBeouf.
LaBeouf and Henriksen continuing to still have this battle with one another, too. Watching this going at it down in the corner. Lothian looking really strong. Very happy with the drive he's got going for him, too, right now. Lothian, Sargent, followed by LaBeouf, Henriksen, and Parsons right now. Adam, your top 5.
I might have to go on mute a moment as I got some background noise about to happen. I'll be right back with you here in a couple moments.
Who let the dogs out? Oh, who let the dogs out, ladies and gentlemen? I got a feeling that's probably what's about to go down. So, Brady can't stop with an odd number. I am not interviewing any more other people, Keith. Keith, won't you jump on the booth and join us, man, if you can hear me. Get on. Oh, look out. Is that the leader, Lothian, in trouble? Yes, it is. Driver right. Here comes now Mike's. Ooh, the thunder rolls. Here comes Mike Sargent. New leader, the 41. Beaver block entry as we're about to wrap up Glass Mechanic Stage 2. Sargent, Lothian, LaBeouf, Henriksen, Parsons. That's the way it stands right now. As looking at bonsaiing off the corner, they're coming to the line. We got, was that Joey Stiers? I think it is. Not a good night for that driver, obviously. Trying to continue to just stay on the racetrack and hold on to the course. Stiers with a bad night. And while all this goes on here, we're closing to the end of the final laps in stage number 2, and we will be looking for a caution flag, Adam. I want to say it was Joey Stiers. Was it Stiers? No. My apologies. It's Brandon Bullock. The 17 Brandon Bullock. He's the truck that's really, really smoky there. Yeah. The Stiers and Bullock's trucks look so darn identical. But it is Brandon Bullock with the issue there on his Toyota number 17, in position 17, actually. Probably the best thing you need to do, clear a path. Right. Well, keep an eye on all that right now as we see, of course, still the leader in the top spot. We saw Lothian slip just a moment ago there, Adam, and it opened the door, obviously, for Mike Sargent. Blake Lothian slipped in his Toyota, and Mike Sargent said, I'm going to kick the door in for our friend to the north. He is in the front of the Beaver Block entry Chevrolet, and we are closing in to the end of stage number 2, and it is presented by Glass Mechanic here at the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150. There will be a Serve Pro caution. It might be the only Serve Pro caution flag of the race for tonight as they work their way around off of the Andretti straightaway, working into the final turns with the S's, coming back to White's Corner, looking at the start finish line. And remember, we are on the final lap of stage number 2, presented by Glass Mechanic here, and the winner of the stage is presented by Glass Mechanic. Thank you for them. And again, we will see a caution flag displayed, as we mentioned, Adam, as soon as the field comes to the line here to wrap up stage number 2. Yeah, we'll find out as working around, coming to the stripe. Here he comes to the line. This is the final lap, and there he goes. Wrap up stage number 2, Glass Mechanic stage 2 winner is Mike Sargent, our friend of the North from Canada. Blake Lothian will finish in 2nd, Brady LaBeouf 3rd. Here comes everybody else crossing the line, and they will be awarded stage points here when it is all said and done. So again, Mike Sargent getting, of course, stage number 2. Mike Sargent in the number 41 machine. Let's see if we can try to grab Mike Sargent if he's somewhere in the chat box and see how things are going for him. But I don't see him right now, Mike Sargent, anywhere in our communication chat. So, Adam, that's the end of stage number 2, buddy. Got you. So, well, we're getting ready to try to see if we can bring in. Well, I was going to try to see if we could try to snag Keith Bradley and bring him into the box. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can move him though. I might not be able to move him. All right. So. Anyhow, and obviously stage number 1 winner was Blake Lothian. Mike Sargent, stage 2. Let me see if we can try to find somebody to grab as we're under the yellow flag. We're not going to go to commercial break. Caution-free, commercial-free coverage here tonight here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. But we are going to catch up with Highline Racing driver Cole Henriksen, and currently, as pit road's about to open up, he's in the top 5. Cole, what's your take of Mosport so far right now, but 2 stages in?
Oh, man, I'm having a blast. I actually literally just bought this track today, so, yeah, just having a good time. Hunter Parsons talked me into running it, so I'm glad he did that. Oh, my gosh, I can't see my pit box. There we go.
Oh, you better find your pit box.
I started going through cars. I'm like, where are they at?
Oh, wow.
But
Hey,
yeah,
you got to find your pit box, brother.
yeah, me and... oh, was it? Yeah, Brady. We were battling there pretty hard, so that was fun.
Right now, it's Mike Sargent again wrapping up the stage 2 presented by Glass Mechanic, and we are under a Serve Pro caution flag, as again it is Serve Pro Fire, Water Cleanup and Restoration, maybe even fire smoke is what Keith Bradley said jokingly. I got to ask you, Cole. Obviously, this is the only caution of the race. We know this. We're going to go to lap 60 to the finish. What's the strategy to get here at the end and try to pick up a win here in truck number 101?
I think right now we're probably looking at just a one-stop strategy here. As long as I can keep it clean, I've kept her on the asphalt so far, so I think we're just gonna take it easy and try to make it to the end.
What you got for Mr. Henriksen, Adam Flieger, right now at the end of stage 2? Adam Flieger, are you there? Is that... It's all good, brother. Cole Henriksen will let you go, man. Good luck the rest of the way tonight.
Awesome, thank you.
And speaking of Cole Henriksen and his teammate, real quickly, we're going to put him back into the box with the Highline Racing team, and we will grab real quickly as well Hunter Parsons. And I'd like to see what Hunter's thoughts are right now, as he is currently on the racetrack. And I guess Cole would not be racing tonight if it wasn't the help of Hunter Parsons, and ironically, he's in the top 5 right now. Hunter, our cheesehead from Green Bay, how's the 15 Toyota so far, brother?
So far, so good. Wishing I didn't bring the 101 here, that's for damn sure. But overall, I needed to get some points here on Stiers and Newton, and we're doing that so far and looking to put ourselves into a good position, even with our teammate Dittmer here, not tonight, for hopefully a regular season title next week at Daytona. So doing everything we need to. We just got to survive this restart.
Without a doubt, he is obviously giving you praises, Cole Henriksen is, because if it wasn't for you, he wouldn't be here tonight. He's loving it.
Yeah, I definitely like to think of myself as his hero, but I'll let him decide that later.
Well, listen, getting ready for a restart, man. What do you think this final stage is going to be like for 34 laps to the checkered flag, my friend?
Well, I think we're going to see some green flag stops here, obviously, for some fuel. Tires, I don't know what's going to happen there. But the big thing right now, I don't think the racing is going to be any different than what we've seen so far. Biggest thing here is going to just make it out of turn 1 and 2 clean. That's about all I can praise for right now.
All right, brother. We'll rock and roll. We'll see how things go for the driver now, currently in the number 5 positions as we get ready to, oh boy. I'm hearing that thunder outside and the lightning flashing too. Go get him, Hunter, for the finish of this race, brothers. We're coming to a restart.
Yeah, hopefully our weather works with me here. I got some pretty heavy storms here in Charlotte area.
You're in Charlotte and I'm in Smithfield, North Carolina. We're probably about 200 miles from one another, and it's storming like crazy all on the radars. So for sure, man. Thank you.
I am praying it holds together for 30 laps.
30 laps. That's all we need. Highline Racing's Hunter Parsons right there at the end of stage number 2. That'll wrap up what'll be a Serve Pro caution. By the way, it's brought to you by Serve Pro Fire, Water, Cleanup, and Restoration. Serve Pro takes care of all of those needs. Again, that is servepro.com for more information at tonight's Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150. Hey, if you're ever down in Daytona, check out Millie's Restaurant and Catering. They have phenomenal food. Lunch, dinner, sometimes on the breakfast during the weekends. Awesome restaurant. Millie's Restaurant and Catering, proud entitlement sponsor here tonight for tonight's race. SimRacerHub.com Truck Series presented by NASRA. By the way, this race is sanctioned by NASRA, the North American Sim Racing Association. If you'd like to know more, go to NASRA Racing on Facebook, X, now known as what used to be Twitter, and Instagram. So it's now known as X. And, of course, thank you for joining us for our coverage. Adam Fligger is in the house. He's producer, director, color analyst. I am Wesley Outland. Obviously, our regular guys like William Tiller and Michael McKinnon's on the track racing, so that's why he's not in the booth tonight with us. And, of course, Jacob Reeves normally joins us a time or two. He wasn't available. So we're just kind of having fun here, taking it all in the final stage of the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150. Field to get ready to come back to the Geico restart zone as the lights are off on the pace truck, and we will settle them up for a restart here in what will be, looks to be a 33 lap shootout to the checkered flag. Clinkhart is the leader. Mike Sargent flanked on the outside. Blake Lothian and Cole Henriksen in your top 2 rows. Then it's going to be Lance Miller and Hunter Parsons. Stephen Thomas and Ed Osborne. Jason Morellas. Michael McKinnon right now round out your top 10 as the field will get ready to bunch up together 2 by 2 by 2. Getting closer as they work their way down the final parts of the S's and the Andretti straightaway. Coming back to White's corner, Adam Fligger, and when they do, it is shootout time because we're efforting this race will be finished on lap 60. Yeah, it's the only way that I've been told that we'll have a caution called is if there is a big wreck before we fire back up. So I'm trying to bring him in the chat. Hey, where are you, brother? Where are you? Adam, Keith. I can't bring you in. Come to the transfer room. Keith Bradley, if you can hear me, come to the transfer room. He says he's in race control. He's talking with TJ Moore and Zach Hartwick. If he'll pop into the transfer room or the waiting room, we'll try to bring him in here. So Yeah. And now we're joined by Keith Bradley as the field comes to the green flag for the third and final stage here tonight for the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150. Keith Bradley, what's up, brother? Former champion of the NASCAR Series, or should I say defending and reigning champion as well.
What is up, fellas? How are you?
Why are you not racing tonight? You just taking it in and enjoying your Monday night?
I'm at work.
Oh, well, you better get your ass back to work then. I don't want you.
No, we got
I don't want you,
night
I
going.
don't want you to get in trouble working and doing a broadcast at the same time. So, yeah.
It's okay.
It's fun working the night shift, though, right?
It is. I'm by myself. I'm in an office all alone, and pretty boring.
I got you. Bored and storming here in North Carolina and Lawrenceburg, Indiana's Animal Keith Bradley joining us in the booth. Keith, I know you said why don't we go for 4, don't have an even number, but I don't think we're going to try to interview any other drivers during race mode, especially here in stage number 3. I don't think it's going to work.
Well, you can count this as your fourth. I'm just not racing tonight.
It's-
So there we go.
Well, we're back underway, and just like that, man, they're storming down to the start-finish line here at the end of at the start of stage number 3, and obviously, Adam, a clean start, man, coming off the line. Everybody minding their P's and Q's. I don't see anybody aggressive as we got one slamming into the barrier. Ed Osborne, Doucette goes around, Morales goes around, Ed Osborne into the wall. Adam Newton looks like he tried to give him a putt in the tailgate. And we'll stay under green flag as Doucette and Morales all get involved. And no harm, no foul. We are still under the green light. Cody, not Adam, might have got a piece of that. The announcer jinx at Keith Bradley, I guess. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's a real thing. I'm a firm believer of it.
Oh, I am a firm believer of it, dude. I don't even try to give compliments to anybody anymore because 9 times out of 10 they hand grenade the engine. You know, if I'm calling a versus broadcast, a football or basketball, hey, they're gonna win. They're doing good. They're gonna win. Well, guess what happened Friday night? That's all I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. Well, anyhow.
Hey, it happens. It happens.
It does. It does. And right now, what a strong run going for the driver. Mike Sargent leading the way. And Blake Lothian in second, Cole Hendrickson third. I got to ask you, Keith, how excited was it, man, to win the championship? I know I wasn't on the broadcaster call for that event, but we've known each other for a number of years off and on, my friend. What did it mean, to win that special race or to win the championship, something you've wanted to have for a while in your iRacing career?
I mean, it was actually a really good feeling because, I started racing with NASCAR since the beginning, and it took a while to win my first race, probably 2.5 seasons. And then it took, 6 seasons to win a championship. So, I mean,
Right.
That just shows how hard it really is, and how tough the competition is, and to actually win one, and then win it in the fashion that I did, it was very exciting. I still go back and I'll watch that broadcast from time to time just to see how truly exciting it was, and man, it meant a lot to win it.
For sure, man. What a special night that was to lock up the championship. And here's the deal. Obviously, the accolades and successes can come as far as for special races or wins. But, man, to win the championship, that is the overall top dog at the end of the season. That shows you the amount of work and everything you went through to get to that championship point.
Oh, absolutely. Now I got that championship to sit right next to the rest of them, along with all the wins I've scored with NASRA. I mean, I think I'm still the all-time leading winner within NASRA, and hopefully I keep adding to that this season and maybe put another championship trophy on the shelf.
Yeah. Adam, I know you were producing that race, man. That was a special moment for Keith Bradley, no doubt. The Friday night series, the Friday night series, what was the Triple M pulling series, but now it's the Cop series. Yeah, pretty cool. Keith Bradley joining us in the booth here as we're right now in the final 30 laps, under 30 to go, 28 remaining. By the way, Keith, obviously they were talking about it, man. Daytona on deck next week. That is going to be crazy. I mean, I thought maybe tonight would be a wild card for this race because it is something that they're not used to running on the road courses. But make no bones about it. I know you know for several years in the NASCAR racing world, Daytona will be a war next Monday night.
Oh, it'll be exciting. I think we'll see a lot of fireworks within the drivers, and it'll be interesting to see who's strong and who's not, and who struggles and who excels. I'm excited for it. I love road course racing. I think it's some of the funnest forms of racing to sit and watch within NASCAR, and stock car racing. I think it all puts on a good show.
Shades of what happened with the NASCAR Cup Series and the Coke Zero 400 last Saturday night at Daytona, where, of course, RKR, Brad Keselowski and Chris Buescher getting 1 and 2, Bubba Wallace making it into the final spot of the top 16 in the playoffs. That same pressure will be mounting for sure in the final round of the regular season of Season 2 for the NASCAR Sim Racer Hub Truck Series from Daytona. Our coverage will begin at, I believe we're going to start early by about 15 minutes next Monday night to set the stage of recapping the entire season. And then, of course, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, that green flag will fly for what will be a wild 250 miles, 100 laps to determine who will be the Sweet 20. I call them the Fast 20. 20 drivers will be locked in. And obviously we know, Adam Flieger, right now, 8 drivers currently know that they're in the playoffs. Certainly keep an eye on that, and we'll watch all of this coming up here next week, no doubt, as we're joined by Adam Flieger up in the booth. I'm Wesley Outland. Of course, also Keith Bradley is our driver analyst, the former and defending NASCAR Triple M Pulling Series truck champion, now known as the Cops Series, joining us. And I believe I was told we're going road course racing on Friday night. Keith, can you give us some more information on that? Where we running at?
Yeah, we'll be at Daytona Road Course. Different change, different kind of scenery at Daytona, different type of racing. It won't be that aggressive pushing through the corners or bump drafting. It'll be methodical, and it'll be a challenging race for some and an exciting race for others. I think we'll see guys struggle. We'll see guys persevere and just stay on track. And like I tell guys that ain't good at road course racing, just stay on track and you'll finish top 10, top 15. Don't get any incidents, and I'm sure I'll preach it probably all this week since we're teammates on Friday nights to just keep it on the pavement.
That's awesome. All of that coming up, no doubt, for sure, this upcoming Friday night road course racing. I will say this. I'm a fan of road races because you got the strategy that goes along with not just going, hey, look, they're making a left turn. Hey, they're going in circles, And I say that with no disrespect, jokingly. Road courses, you're making lefts, you're making rights, you're going through chicanes, bus stops. Every road course and every road course track has its own different configuration and its own personality. And honestly, it's difficult, obviously, to try to figure out. Am I right? No doubt, Keith.
Oh, 100%. Then you throw in what kind of sim racing equipment do other people have. Like me, I have an H pattern shifter. Some guys uses the paddle shifting, and it's different from my vantage point because I'm using a shifter to bang through the gears, and they're not even moving their hand off the steering wheel. So all kinds of different elements, and I think it'll be exciting.
Watching all of this rolling on here right now again. We have, of course, the driver guest, Keith Bradley, helping us out in the booth. Adam Flieger is producing and directing. And right now, Adam, I'm telling you, man, we're watching this close into the end of Stage 3 here in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150. And Mike Sargent, our friend of the North from Canada, he got a big smile on his face right now. I don't know what he done in that strategy for truck number 41, Adam, but he is gone, dude. He's checked out. It's about 2 seconds now over Blake Lothian. Yes. Really good run for him going as well, and now he's kind of falling back by the wayside too. So looking now to see where he will end up. It's currently Brady LaBeouf you're referring to, our friend of Louisiana, and right now he's fell all the way back to 18th, 9 laps down. I wonder if we might be able to possibly grab Brady and see what happened. I mean, obviously he's way mired in the back.
I think he went off track and got damaged.
For Mission 1 Esports, yeah, we'll find out here. Keith Bradley. Brady, you had a really good couple of stages to start things. Stage 3 has not been good for you. What happened to the 24? No comment, I guess. Brady LaBeouf does not want to talk, so that's okay. No problem at all. We're thinking, obviously, that's probably the same thing that happened for him for the Mission 1 Esports entry of Brady LaBeouf. And Keith, that's just, obviously, he was chatting with us earlier, and now, obviously, you see in Stage 3, he's like, man, I don't want to talk to anybody right now. So I understand.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I was helping him earlier today with some practice while he was running some practice, and I was talking him through some things and teaching him some different techniques that he can try, and it was working for the most part till he had that unfortunate circumstance happen, and I hate it for Brady. As I drive for him on Friday nights, he's my team owner, but he's also the leader of NASRA, and
yep.
I was hoping to see him have a good run.
Let's give you the rundown right now as it stands through the field, if you will. Adam Fligger will pick up the leader. It's Mike Sargent. He's the man up in front right now. And the driver of the truck number 41 Beaver Block entry Chevrolet. Blake Lothian is in that second spot. There you see him. 2.40 seconds, the interval between first and second. Cole Henriksen, there he is right there. The R1 Works entry Chevrolet. Happy, big grin on his face. Thank you, Hunter Parsons. He's in the top 3. And speaking of Hunter Parsons, right there in 4th on the racetrack, Stephen Thomas has got a good run going for him. Stephen Thomas, the DSR electric machine, is in 4th. There is Hunter Parsons, who is currently on the racetrack in the top 5. 6th is Lance Miller, driver of truck number 21. What a great showing he had in the All-Star race at Eldora a couple of weeks ago on the dirt. 7th is Adam Newton in the DSR electric number 82. Good, solid run for him currently on the racetrack. And 8th is Steve Barnett as the Hillbilly number 42 is right there in a comfortable top 10 drive here at Mosport, followed by Kerry Tribune in 9th in the 7, and Michael McKinnon. There's that Poltz Poppers number 13. He was dirt tracking just a little bit off of that 4th turn. There's your top 10 right now on the racetrack, and that's the way it stands here with the top 10. I'll give the rest of the rundown to everybody really quickly, including Brandon Broadfoot 11th, Ed Osborne 12th, Joey Doucette is 13th, followed by Jacob Klinkhart and Jason Morales, the top 15. Jeffrey Johnson Jr., Cody Knott, Brandon Bullock, Robert Richards, Brady LaBeouf, 9 laps down in the top 20 on the racetrack as it stands, with now currently, I believe, 17 trucks on the lead lap. Then it's going to be Derek Kilgore, Justin White, Zach Hartwick, Brian Chu, Sean Hamilton. Right now, the rundown of the 26 trucks that took the green here in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150, the penultimate race before the final race of the regular season. Keith, back to you. That race next Monday night, it's going to be no holds barred, I believe. No give and take will be given at Daytona.
No, and probably not. I know if it was me and I was in the race Monday night, and if I had a 1-point advantage or I was down by 1 point, me personally, I think I would just play it safe. You ride around to the final stage. Like I tell guys all the time with super speedway racing, it pays more to be there at the end than it does to be there in the stages. You gain more as far as points and positioning and anything above to be there at the end. It don't matter because if you finish 10th in the first stage and then you get wrecked out in the second stage, you're screwed at that point. Me personally, I like to be there at the end in hopes to win the race or finish in the top 5 just to help seal myself into the playoffs. I know it's going to be a high stress situation. It'll be a intense race, I think, and you're going to have some guys that are right on the border of the cut line that expect to be in that might not get in.
And we'll keep an eye on that for sure. Adam Flicker, what's your thoughts on that to add more analysis to it? Well, I really feel I agree with all of you guys. I've done this a long time in virtual and reality, and I do believe that next Monday night, Daytona might be probably one of the wildest races we've ever seen. Katie bar the door, because you've got those final spots to try to make it in. And real quickly, Adam, if you don't mind, we're in a green flag run. We're down to 20 laps to go, 40 laps coming up on the board here in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150. Put the points up on the board if you can again, because here it is right now. If you're right on the outside looking in, look at this, Adam, Keith Bradley, Jeffrey Johnson Jr., a kind of a newbie on the NASRA series this year on the Monday night. Adam Newbert on the outside looking in. That is your defending champion. He might not make the cut to be in the top 20.
Yeah, which is wild. They call it the former champion's curse. They say the guys that win the championship the next season coming up, that they're going to struggle, and kind of seeing it a little bit, but I wouldn't count Adam out. I wouldn't count any of the guys back to 27th out, because Donnie Lyons could show up and win the race and punch his ticket to the playoffs. I think it'll be harder for sure, but like I said, I think if you're Jeff Johnson or anybody below that cut line, you gotta stay patient and be driver aware of everything going on around you, and not put yourself in a bad situation to where you're definitely on the outside looking in at that point.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, what's your take of the season so far? As far as you being the defending champion, are you kind of having the bad season recap woes, or are you still being consistent and looking to try to go back to back?
Well, we're trophy chasing this season. We're going for wins. We're going for another championship. We've notched 2 race wins so far. Got one at New Hampshire, and then just one last Friday night at Kansas. And we're going into Daytona Road Course and hopes to add another trophy to the trophy case.
Keith Bradley joining us in the booth. We are 20 laps to go, 40 laps into this race right now. Adam, I got to think something here, man. This is the longest green flag run of the race. Could we be seeing green flag pit stops? Could that possibly rear its ugly head down the stretch of this race? Because, again, Raul Meza almost going off the reservation off that final turn. Still fighting that truck, but green flag pit stops could really be a crazy scenario to determine the outcome of the winner as well. Yeah. Oh, wow. Keith, is it just driver announcer instinct? We've been doing this too long. We had a feeling green flag pit stops were coming.
Yeah, I think so. I think that plays a part in it.
Here comes some of these guys onto the pit lane. Michael McKinnon and giving up a top 10 run. The 13 Chevrolet. Pulse Popper's entry on pit road. Money stop, no doubt. And I could be honest here, Keith, as well. He's going for an undercut on everyone else because the top 9 haven't pitted.
Oh, absolutely. He's trying to get off kilter with everybody else. He's got to make a decision. Do I pit now and hopefully take the long-term gain if everybody else does pit? Whether fuel comes into a factor, but I know one thing, tires are definitely going to come into a factor for sure, especially at this racetrack. It gets hot and slick, and you can wear your tires out fairly quick. I'm with McKinnon, though. I like that strategy call. You got to try something different than the leader.
Yes, sir. No doubt, man, for sure. We're keeping an eye on it. Watching these drivers, when do you pit? Adam, you've raced a couple of times. I know primarily you're a dirt guy than you are pavement, besides in the production booth with Nazra. But what the strategy of pitting obviously is totally off cycle with everyone else. We just saw what Michael McKinnon did. He's now mired 17 seconds back behind everyone else. I'm sorry, 1 minute and 12:69. I think he's going to come to the line, but obviously we'll see where this all ends up. But back to the question, Adam Flieger, is obviously the green flag pit stops will also, we probably, and we said this, are not going to see another a caution flag to the checkered flag here. And obviously you're mired back. Everybody is going to be so far interval to the leader. If Mike Sargent pits and I'm Blake Lothian, I'm thinking I'm going to pit right as soon as he does. That's got to be possibly his only shot, Adam Flieger, to win this race. All of this going on as we approach the end of this race now, but 17 laps to go. Am I right, Keith Bradley? I mean, basically, if you got a chance to, here's the deal. Lothian, 5.7 seconds back in second in the 43. Cole Henriksen, 6.2 seconds back in third in the 101. Stephen Thomas, Hunter Parsons. If you literally can see the leader pitting, because the interval right now in the top 5 is from 5 seconds to 24 seconds. Would the smart thing be, as we see Bullet go by still smoking, would the smart thing be, Adam Flieger, to go, Keith Bradley, to go to pit whenever the leader does?
If it was me and I was that far back, I would, just to try to get on the same strategy as him and then try to match his pace. If not match it, beat his pace to maybe catch a lapped car at the wrong place at the wrong time and close that gap a little bit. At least you'll be on the same strategy as him, or you could play it the other way and you could stay out and try to save a little bit. But I don't think the second option would work out. I don't think you'd be able to pull away far enough to even make it matter.
We'll definitely keep an eye on this for sure, as right now it is currently all Mike Sargent leading the way. There is that nice look. Oh, did I see a truck spun? I did. Newton on pit road, Doucette on pit road. There was a truck turned around right when they were coming off of that corner. There he is, Cody Knott, the Madera, California driver from the West Coast, and his Toyota entry spun, stalled, now backfired and rolling. That's a big heartbreak there for a driver that was currently at least in the top 10 at one time in this race. Now he's going to fall a lap down, maybe even more. He's already 2 laps down. Actually, now that I'm looking at time and score an update, and Adam Flieger, that's something Cody Knott did not want to see happen to that truck.
I'm sorry, I must have ended up on mute. Some people might not have heard me too well a couple questions ago. I ended up muting my own mic. I think it's going to be a strategy call, definitely coming down here to the wire with 50 laps to go. As I think even Thomas got around the 101 of Cole Henriksen.
Wow, look at this. What a move here. As Sargent, Lothian, Thomas, Hendrickson, Parsons, top 5. Got Keith Bradley joining us in the booth. By the way, we're going commercial free for tonight's events. As here comes now Miller in the top 10. He's 6th. He's on pit road. This is the money stop. Make no mistake about it. Keith, if you don't follow the leaders, because Sargent is in his own world right now, he has not pitted. When do you finally say, okay, enough's enough, I need to find a way to beat him? Or do you try to weasel and stay out there as long as you can to be in sync with him?
I think if you're falling back and you're losing time to him, I think I'd wave the white flag and I'd come in. I would grab tires and go out and start running as fast as a lap as I could in hopes to try to catch him when he makes a stop or if he makes a mistake. Because like I said, tire wear is huge here, and in one little spin of the tire of the leader, and it could make a difference. It could make a big difference. It's just a matter of, do you want to make that call or not?
We're definitely kind of keeping an eye on all of this as it is right now heading to that part of the finish of this race. No doubt about it here at the finishing laps of the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150. There you see Hendrickson, Parsons. There's Miller back out. By the way, Miller came back out on the racetrack in 6th, it looks like, and still in the 6th position if timing and scoring is correct. Cole Hendrickson is pitting. Here comes now Hunter Parsons. They're coming down pit road. Pitting before the leader, 4th and 5th place to Keith on the strategy, maybe.
Yeah, and I like the call that they just made to come down and go ahead and get them fresh tires. Take advantage of them while you can. And I mean, all it's going to take is the leader to dip one tire off the racetrack, and it could make a difference between a 5-second lead to a 6-second lead, and those guys could really take advantage of it. And I would go ahead and just take advantage of it now, because all you're doing now is just losing time to the leader.
Making great time, doing exactly what he's doing here is right now it is Mike Sargent, Blake Lothian, Stephen Thomas, Cole Hendrickson, and Hunter Parsons. Currently, as it stands right now, the top 5. And by the way, Lothian is still 5 3/4 seconds back to Mike Sargent right there on the racetrack as we see the 43 just a moment ago. There you see now Stephen Thomas as all these guys currently working their way around the racetrack with 13 laps to go to the finish of this race. And again, Mike Sargent has not pitted yet. A matter of fact, the top 3 have only pitted one time. That was in the caution at the end of stage number 2 in the Glass Mechanics second stage of this race. Everyone else is still pitted 2 times or more, except for these guys. And then you got guys like Ed Osborne, Jason Morales, who are also at least a lap down, but they had not pitted except one time. But honestly, Keith, could the race be won or lost by a pit stop here and when he decides to pit?
I mean, it essentially could. I think the biggest thing that I'm paying attention to is who can get off pit road the best with no mistakes, no penalties. Whether you take 2 tires or you take 4 tires, I think I'd take 4. It's just a matter of getting on pit road, not making a mistake. Don't get a speeding penalty late in the race, and then your whole race is wiped out.
And we'll keep an eye on this. Adam, what are you thinking as we come to the home stretch, man? We're about to approach 10 laps to go with 13 laps left here in this race.
I'm actually not sure. I mean, with the track being so long, they're not losing a lap whenever they go into pit road like they would under green flag conditions, say it like Daytona or Richmond or something, another track like that. So being so long, they can almost get on and off pit road without losing position.
And we'll see how all this shakes out for sure. So again, right now, 6 seconds, the interval, with 12 laps to go between Mike Sargent and Blake Lothian, a Chevrolet and a Toyota right there. 1 and 2, Toyota. Stephen Thomas third. He's 14 seconds back, though, now in the top 4, along with Hunter Parsons, 52 seconds back. And again, Keith, that just shows you right there the interval in the top 5 of what a big distance in lead Mike Sargent has had over all these other guys, or drivers that are actually in the top 5 have had something bad luck happen to them and mire them back on the track.
Oh, absolutely. I think right now, Mike Sargent has taken everybody to the woodshed for sure. And the good thing is, with a big lead like that, Mike could slow his pace down. He could save his tires. He could be saving fuel in between all of this and maintaining that gap between himself and Blake Lothian. So that's
whoa, truck spun. Oh boy, who was that? Sorry about that, Keith, but I saw a truck spun entering down off the corner there. I was just wondering who it was. Is it Jacob Klinkhart possibly in the number 1 machine that spun there? It looks like he was trying to spin entering onto the pit lane, but We will stay green, obviously. No caution, Keith, and that's got to be frustrating, too, when you see all these guys spinning or crashing and you say, damn it, I need a caution. I need a caution to catch the leader. And the sad reality is, Keith Bradley, you don't get one.
No, you hope and pray that you could get one. You don't want to see anybody get involved in a crash, especially even virtually, especially when you're the leader and you got that big of a lead. But if I'm Blake Lothian, I'm fingers crossed. Hopefully we get a yellow. I think it's very highly unlikely with how spread out all the trucks are. But yeah, if I'm second, third, fourth, I'm hoping and praying for a yellow. And if I'm the leader, I'm cussing up a storm if we get a yellow.
I don't think a caution's coming out because we are approaching 10 laps to go. We haven't had Adam Flieger, that, if you will, big wreck of the race like I think people were thinking right now. I just don't see it's going to happen as they work off the corner, coming to the start-finish line. You now see 10 laps to go for your leader, Mike Sargent, as they come storming to the stripe. And, boy, now we're seeing Stephen Thomas. Look at this guy. He's in third. He's in fourth. Correction. The number 4 machine, DSR electric truck. Here you go, Keith. Again, in the top 5, and he's struggling. It's like he's literally trying to keep the truck on the track, and I think the tires have gone away.
Oh, for sure. I've seen his truck get sideways numerous times around some of these corners, and his tires have to be shot. But at this time, he's made his bet. He's kind of got to push it and ride where he's at in hopes to either make a last-ditch effort when he goes to pit road and hopes to keep the track position and try to keep the gap between himself and fourth, or just push it as far as you can and as hard as you can to the end and hope you can make it.
Now we'll try to keep an eye on this. Yeah, go ahead.
If I had to bet, Stephen Thomas has some left in the tank to probably make it to the end if I know him well enough.
Watching all this go down is, again, Mike Sargent still currently the man in the top spot, the driver of the number 41. Blake Lothian to second, Stephen Thomas third, followed by Cole Hendrickson, Hunter Parsons, your top 5. Look at this now, working off the corner out of turn 4 as Mike Sargent, by the way, the leader in the 41 machine from Canada here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, starting to pick trucks, lapping them one by one, picking them up and putting them down, and continuing, if you will, Adam Flieger, to increase that distance to the finish of the race.
Yeah, he's putting the laps up, and putting the laps up, putting them down. Hill looks really strong out there out front. I'm just curious to know how much fuel he's hold. Can these top 3 the rest of the way on the tank of fuel?
I will find out. By the way, somebody's saying we have an echo in the broadcast on my end. I sound completely fine. It might be something in the production side of it, so we need to figure it out. As right now, Mike Sargent is still the leader in the number 41 truck. Blake Lothian in second, Stephen Thomas third, and now you're Keith Bradley coming to the crosshairs of this race to the finish, man. What do you do to carry this race to the finish? And obviously, if you're in the top 5, stay out of trouble and don't make a mistake.
Oh, absolutely. And if you can make it to the end, try to make it to the end. But from what I noticed with Mike Sargent, he's still very smooth. I've not seen his truck get sideways the slightest bit. And he's got a big enough lead. He can save a little bit and make it to the end. And if I'm Blake Lothian or Stephen Thomas, I stay patient, stay smooth. Don't wheel spin. Try not to wheel spin. I know it's probably going to happen, but try not to, and try to maintain your pace. And if you can make it, you might as well just push it now and leave with a podium.
Somehow, some way, trying to get there to the end of this thing here right now is again in single digits. One caution, one Serve Pro yellow flag. That was at the end of that second stage. As right now, coming to the home stretch of this race here tonight, it's Mike Sargent, by the way, stage 2 winner, and now trying to win here. Obviously, Blake Lothian getting stage 1. And I'll be honest, Adam Flieger, here is a driver that he has come in and he has spoiled the party for Blake Lothian and company, because I literally thought you were going to write the check to the 43 from Massachusetts tonight.
Yeah, he was definitely your pick. But he back off almost a 6-second gap. Outrun the lap. Lothian and Thomas, though, they're still looking good, even on the, I think, put it back at lap 25.
Yeah, just don't count him out just yet. Right now, is all of this going on here to the finishes. Lothian, that truck, wings and wheels, right now. Currently, just being patient, and I think, I mean, Keith, you've done racing a long time with Nazareth road coursing or real. Is he within the, if you will, Adam, whatever's going on, whenever you talk, it's not going out over the broadcast. So me and Keith will just carry the broadcast the rest of the way. There's something going on with your mic. Yeah, it's not going out over YouTube and Facebook because the comments are coming in. Keith, with Mike Sargent leading with 6 laps to go, so my question is this. Does he still have enough time, or is there right now strategy being given by the 43 to try to run to the finish and try to win this race? Can he get in it?
I would think so. I think if you're Mike Sargent, you continue doing what you're doing, and you never know. He might come in and pit with 2 to go, 3 to go. He might even have enough fuel. I'm not 100% sure the fuel usage that these trucks have here, or even the pit window. I just know at road courses, your tires are more important than fuel, depending on how much fuel the trucks have in them to start, whether it's starting with 100% fuel load or 60% fuel load.
Well, right now, it is currently Mike Sargent, again, right there in the lead. There you see him, okay? And he is continuing to separate the distance between him and Blake Lothian, who's right there crossing the line. The interval is 6.75 seconds back on the driver in second. Stephen Thomas, by the way, 19 seconds. Keith, that's almost a 20-second gap from the leader to third place. Now, granted, obviously, Sargent's picking him up and putting him down lap by lap around Mosport here at Canadian Tire, but Blake Lothian is also pulled away from the rest of the competition, too. Your top 2 are in their own world.
Oh, absolutely. I think at this point, Stephen Thomas is probably experiencing extreme tire wear. Every time I've seen his truck come up on the screen here, he's dirt tracking around the corner. So that tells me that he's struggling as far as finding grip and having grip to put down. If it was me, I would just go ahead, I'd bite the bullet, I'd come in, get fresh tires, and probably still finish in the top 5. But knowing Stephen, he's in third, and he wants to finish third.
Just keeping an eye on watching him here is right now closing in on the final laps of this race. 5 laps to go. Mike Sargent in the lead. There's Stephen Thomas, as we mentioned. He's in that Toyota DSR Electric number 4. 21 seconds back in the interval to the leader, Mike Sargent, as they work off that corner. Another lap to the finish here, closing in on an open hand from your flagman. Now 5 laps to go. Sargent, Lothian, Thomas, Hendrickson, Parsons, your top 5. Miller, Newton, Trabue, Broadfoot, McKinnon, top 10. By the way, Keith Bradley, 7 trucks are on the lead lap. That's all that are leading on the lead lap here at Canadian Tire down the stretch.
Yeah, and then that's more of a reason for me to go pit. If I was Stephen, I would just go ahead, take your lump, go ahead and pit. You know you're not going to fall any further than 7. And then you'll be faster than those trucks ahead of you because you'll be on fresh tires. And you could probably drive your way back up to third. But like I said, knowing Stephen, he's probably going to push it to the end. If it was me, I'd rather just come in, get fresh tires, and then have a shot. If the leaders make a mistake with Blake and Mike Sargent, if something happens and they run off course, then you're kind of in the catbird seat.
If I may chime in, as I got my mic louder now, so everybody can hear me just fine.
Okay.
I'm seeing the Stephen Thomas has a 34 to 35 second gap between him and 4th place. Like I was saying, if he would come into pit road, he may still come out in 3rd because of the gap between them.
Yeah, that strategy going to be very interesting, no doubt, as we see this. And it's good to hear Adam again, as right now Mike Sargent just picking him up and putting him down lap after lap. As Stephen Thomas, again, right now, as far as on track, is sitting in a comfortable spot in that number 3 position. Hendrickson, Parsons, all in that top 5 right now as we are closing in on the finish of this race. Mike Sargent, there he is, the Beaver Block Chevrolet, our friend from the north, from Canada, doing really, really well. I mean, this is a guy that we don't even have full information on as far as a regular season driver on the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series, even as a fill-in person or a part-time driver is what I meant to say. We really don't know who this guy is, but what we do know, Keith Bradley, is this guy can win. Oh, and again, this is going to make another winner on the series if this happens. I don't per se will see him in the playoffs because obviously he's not a committed series racer competitor. But, man, he come in here tonight and whipped up on all the boys in Canada.
Oh, he had to. He's in his backyard. He's got to come in and do well for Canada, right? He can't come in and be taken to the woodshed. He's got to come in and take everybody else to the woodshed. He's done a phenomenal job. I'm very impressed in his drive.
Laps winding down with now 3 laps to go. Obviously, Adam Flieger, as the race comes to an end, hands down, you do not want to see Mike Sargent or Blake Lothian make a mistake because those are your 2 top drivers. And again, don't want to have any gremlins rear their ugly head down the stretch in this race for these guys.
Hey, no, you do not. And the only gremlin I can think of is possibly Joel. But right now, I'm guessing the way they're running, they're going to try to save to make sure they have enough for that last lap.
We'll see as the laps continue to tick away here right now. Mike Sargent, again, leading the way here in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150. 1 caution flag, 1 Serve Pro yellow flag. That was at the end of the Glass Mechanic Stage 2, where, again, Mike Sargent won stage number 2. Blake Lothian, winner of stage number 1. It looked like, Keith Bradley, the first opening stage or stage 2, it was Blake Lothian going to be the dominator of this race, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes the driver on the pole truck of Mike Sargent, right back in this battle again. He is trying to just upset all of our US of A drivers. The man out of Canada coming to the line. He is going to see now the white flag this time by when they come back around. It's 2 to go for the 41 in the turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, and I think Mike Sargent wasn't willing to show his cards early. He held him to his chest and waited for the opportunity to lay his cards on the table, and boy, has he sure ever. I've not seen somebody come in their first race ever in NASRA and just take everybody to the backyard and take them to the woodshed. He's doing a phenomenal job. I think this is one of the better first races I've seen from a new guy coming in a very long time.
Very excited and seeing what Mike Sargent's doing here right now is, again, right now working down the Mario Andretti straightaway. That's the backstretch here at Mosport at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. He'll work his way off of turn number 9, 10, and coming back off through the S's of the racetrack now, back to White's corner. He'll look for the start-finish line, and he will be seeing that white flag, Adam Flieger, be coming through the air as he works off of turn 8, 9, and 10, coming to the start-finish line. It is in the wind. 1 more lap to go. The Darren Snell Gun Repair. Final lap of the race. 1 lap remaining, and no mistakes, Adam Flieger by Mike Sargent to win this race on this last lap.
No, he doesn't want no mistakes. He got 1 more lap around this wonderful in Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, I think it was. Looking phenomenal out there.
Trying to just stay right there consistent. Keith, you're a champion. You've raced a long time. When you see that white flag come out in the sim world, what's your mind saying to you as you work off that final white flag lap?
Oh, keep the car straight, stay smooth, stay patient. Don't do anything dumb late to throw it right out the window. I tried doing that Friday night. I brushed the fence, let the guy running second get around me, and I had to saddle back up and get right back past him. Biggest thing is just stay patient. Don't overdrive any of the corners. Take it easy if you can, and bring it home to the checker. There ain't no sense of throwing it away last corner, last lap. It's coming to the checker.
Well, he is getting ready to just do that right now. Final couple of corners remain off of the S's into the whites corner. And here he comes, our friend of the North, off the final turn. Coming to the line, another winner of the season for the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. The Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150 goes to Mike Sargent. Second spot will go to the driver of Blake Lothian. Third is going to be Stephen Thomas. Cole Hendrickson will finish in fourth. And fifth will go to the driver again of Hunter Parsons. As the celebration is on for the driver Mike Sargent. Again, Keith Bradley hit his marks. As you said, stay out of trouble, be there at the end. That's exactly what the number 41 Chevrolet did.
Oh, he sure did. I think he listened to what I said. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, don't make a mistake around lap cars. Let the lap cars take care of themselves. Just bring her to the finish.
I'll tell you what, Adam Flieger, obviously it's another big win for another driver again that, man, I know we don't see him full-time in this series, but damn it all, if he was a full-time competitor, I think he could be somebody that could be a fit for these Monday night regulars.
Oh, I definitely think he could be. And I'm sitting here wondering, does this raise his confidence enough to maybe think about joining full-time next?
Might be something possibly to definitely consider right now as the celebration is on for Mike Sargent. Let's take a look at the results here tonight in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150. One more race remains in the regular season, as tonight was the penultimate race here at Mosport. Daytona awaits next Monday night on the high banks. Here's your winners. Mike Sargent, winner tonight over Blake Lothian. By the way, Mike Sargent, stage 2 and stage 3 winner. Blake Lothian, your stage 1 winner. Stephen Thomas will finish third. Hunter Parsons fourth. Cole Hendrickson is your top 5. Adam Newton, Lance Miller, Kerry Tribune, and Brandon Broadfoot, Michael McKinnon, top 10. However, only 7 trucks with Miller on the lead lap with a checkered flag fell. There's your top 10. Ed Osborne will finish 11th. Morales 12th. Jeffrey Johnson Jr. still in that playoff fighting bubble to make it in third team. Steve Barnett 14th to Cody Knott, the top 15. Joey Doucette, Jacob Klinkhart, Robert Richards, right now your top 18. Rest of the field, including your top 20, will be right now the driver of, let's see, it's Ramal Meza, Brandon Bullock. What a struggling day for him. He said, and I quote, "My Toyota sucked." Top 20, then it's going to be Justin White. Brady LaBeouf, what might have been for the Louisiana driver, Brady LaBeouf had a strong truck going for Mission 1 Esports. Looked good at one time in the third spot. Something happened at the end of stage number 1 to 2, and he fell back. And right now he'll finish in the 23rd position, or 22nd. 23rd going to Derek Kilgore. Zach Hartwig will finish in the 25th spot. Or 24th, Brian Chu 25th, followed by Sean Hamilton. That's the way they will finish up here at the end of the Mosport event. Well, Keith, you're welcome to stay, hang around for interviews, or we'll let you go, man. Been fun having you in the booth tonight.
I can hang around. I'm not too busy.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'll get ready for post-race interviews. Mike Sargent, Blake Lothian, and Stephen Thomas are the drivers that we are looking to put in the box and hear from, as again, looks like we got Mike Sargent. I need Blake Lothian and Stephen Thomas. I believe Blake will pop in here. I know he doesn't have Discord. Stephen Thomas, I know we can bring him down here if he can go to the waiting room. We can bring in Stephen Thomas. So we're getting all of our guys lined up here. And we're waiting on the runner-up of the race, I believe, is Blake Lothian. Once we get him in here, we'll have all of our drivers in the box for post-race interviews. Right now, as we're awaiting the runner-up of the race, let's grab the third-place man, and I believe that is West Virginia's Stephen Thomas, and we'll get his thoughts here in the booth as being a third-place finisher of tonight's event. Good run for the DSR Electric red number 4. Stephen Thomas, good to hear from you again, man. Been a while since we chatted. Back on the podium here tonight at Canadian Tire.
Yeah, good to be back in here, man. Appreciate it.
Man, so what was going on with the truck? Obviously, I mean, did it look like it struggled at the beginning? Did you finally figured it out and was able to do well in that final third long stage of the race, or was it pit strategy that changed things for you?
To be honest, man, I just kind of realized these guys were racing at Canadian Tire tonight, and I hopped on at 8:40 and started running some laps. So obviously the first 12, 15 laps was a little rough for sure for me, but once I got it figured out, got a hang of things, just started driving the truck a little bit easier. Everything just came to me, you know.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Keith Bradley, if you got a question for him, go ahead, man. And I understand we have all of our top three on the podium in the box now. Man, whatever struggles he had, once he got back in that third final stage, that truck really, really got good for the number 4.
Absolutely, Steven, I seen you were dirt tracking around a couple of the corners. Was you fighting a little bit of grip issues? Did you burn up the tires? I figured you were trying to save to get to the end.
I was trying to save, yeah, but I was also, trying to keep up with these leaders, especially in the beginning of the third stage. So yeah, man, I was definitely getting loose, just trying to figure out where they were getting all the speed from. But yeah, every time I hit the gas, buddy, those back tires wanted to get loose and out from underneath of me. So yeah, I definitely dirt tracked some corners today, but it was fun.
Adam Flieger. Got a question for third place Stephen Thomas, buddy.
I really
Okay. all right. Keith, what were you going to add to elaboration, buddy? And Stephen, and segue to that, thank your sponsors.
All right, man.
I was just going to say it was a good run for you tonight, Stephen. You really showed the patience of what it takes to get to the front of the field. I think you started towards the back, and you used a little bit of strategy to get your way to the front, like the Stephen Thomas we all know,
Yeah.
and you made your way to the front.
Yeah, man, I love road courses. That's the thing about road courses. If you just be patient and just hit your lines and take it easy, let people make mistakes around you, you'll finish good, at least top 5 for sure. But there's always that ringer or two at road courses. So yeah, man, just run your race at road courses, and everything will work itself out.
Be there at the end, man. Sponsors, obviously, on the number 4, Stephen. Thank you, buddy, for being on.
I want to thank you guys at NASDAQ 360 Racing Network. Every night you guys do this. Triple M Pulling and Michael, Paul's Poppers, Soupty's Garage, Blanchard's Towing, Butt Kicker, Stogies, M1. I know those are a lot of older sponsors. Whoever else has jumped on aboard with us, I want to thank. I want to thank my teammates at Swim and the team owner, Jeff Sickles. I've been going through some stuff lately, and they've been all, super patient with me and staying in touch with me and asking me to come back and stuff. So I really appreciate that, man. They made me feel like they wanted me here. So I appreciate those guys. Adam Newton and Newbert and Jeff Sickles and Blake. Like I said, man, those guys have been on my case the past few weeks. I want to thank Millie's Landing, A's Lawn and Landscaping, Darren's Nail Gun and Repair, Ladanko, Family Handyman, Millie's Restaurant, DSR Electric, my Friday night sponsor, Jersey Smoke. And like I said, thanks, guys. Thanks, Brady. Y'all have a good night.
There you go, Stephen Thomas, man, with sponsors on that iRacing virtual number 4 that you thought would be on a real race car, no doubt about it. Thanks for all them guys that help him out along the way, and Stephen Thomas will again settle for the number 3 position. Let's go to the runner-up now of the race, and we do got him in the box, my friend out of Wellesley, Massachusetts, and the Wings Wheels entry number 43 has to settle for second. Blake, I said on Thursday, write the check, Canadian Tire, Blake Lothian. Damn it, I think I jinxed you. Second place. There's nothing wrong with silver, though. Second place.
No, not at all, and especially to the person I brought to the league. So maybe I shouldn't have done that, but...
Anyhow, the Wings and Wheels entry, Toyota number 43, still look good on the track tonight, though.
Oh, yeah, it definitely was.
Stage 1 winner. You do get some stage points out of the deal.
Did I? I didn't think I won stage 1, so that's cool if I did. I'm not sure if I did, but I know I definitely choked away stage 2. But you win some, you lose some. Road courses are interesting to say the least. But yeah, we had a pretty good truck all race. Just burned up the tires definitely by the end of stage 2. Then Mike got us there when I practically spun there in the downhill hairpin area. So at the end of the day, it was a pretty good run. We got held up by some lap traffic every now and again, and one time someone spun in the bottom of 2 and kind of back up the track, so freaked me out a little bit, but still. All in all, decent run. can't complain about that.
Hey, Bradley, what you got for the runner-up, Blake Lothian here?
Blake, what do you think you needed there at the end to either catch Mike or get around Mike? What did need to happen?
Well, I need some more road course experience. I brought in a road course ringer, so yeah, he's going to have the heads up for the arm up, I guess, there. So I just needed more consistency, to be honest. I was definitely burning up my tires a little bit much. In that third stage there, for sure, I ran out of fuel. I was talking to Mike there in the waiting room, and he was saving fuel different ways than I was. I'll let you ask him about how he was saving fuel, but it was different than how I was. I saved a lump sum at first, which let's just say that was not the winning move. So,
well, I'll tell you what. I got to ask you this question, man. Blake, what do you think Daytona's going to be like next Friday or next Monday night for sure? Final race to the playoffs.
I was wondering where we were going, and it's Daytona. It's either it's going to run really clean or it's going to be a wreck fest. I hope for I forget which one I said first, but I hope for the clean option. But I'm excited for Daytona, to say the absolute least. That's going to be fun. I'll try to drag Mike back in the run, have him see if he can double down.
We'll see what happens. Got your sponsors, man. Hey, by the way, did I hear Wings and Wheels is now actually not only a virtual iRacing sponsor, but it is a sponsor on your real racing car?
Oh, yes. Wings and Wheels is officially on board, and it's great to have them. They're practically family to me already, so it's a great partnership. I look forward to growing with them. And on top of that, we have Rootley, the Texas Law Book. Ray, who was spotting for me, who's with Wings and Wheels, so he was my crew chief all night long. We literally ran out of fuel, sputtered across the line.
Oh, wow.
And he's had iRacing for like 2-3 weeks now, so that's quite impressive for him to get the fuel mileage literally down to that well. So I have to thank Jeff Sickles and Stick With It Motorsports for, again, the amazing opportunity to be able to run these fast trucks, these fast Toyota Tundra TOD Pros.
All right, man. Well, listen, we'll let you go. Thanks as always for what you do, buddy, and we'll see you at Daytona next Monday night. It should be fun.
Of course, thank you. I'm looking forward to watching back this broadcast. I know it's always fantastic work.
Wellesley, Massachusetts driver, of course, Blake Lothian, Toyota machine there. Will finish in the second position, and now we go to victory lane. We'll grab the winner of the race. Friend of the North, officially from Canada. And the man gets it done, the driver, the number 41, Beaver Block Chevrolet. Mike Sargent, welcome to Victory Lane to the NASCAR world. What a dominating performance here at Canadian Tire, sir.
Thanks. I'm so happy to be here. It was a tough race. It may not have looked it, but, man, Blake was really keeping me honest there.
What made the decision to finally join the series? And I'm going to steal the word from Adam Flieger. Will we see you run some more events here now?
It's very possible. I heard that the Roval is on the schedule, so I'll probably pop by for that. Honestly, Blake just gave you guys a good word, and I'm glad it came by. The racing was phenomenal. It's super clean. The guy, like, everybody was respectful. I couldn't have asked for a better race.
So the Roval is on the Monday night schedule. However, the bad news is that race is already past tense. That race was back in June 12th. But there might be one added on the Friday night schedule or something of that caliber. But, man, we'd love to have you. Keith Bradley, a champion of the series from Friday night's got a question for the winner, Mike Sargent.
Mike, what was you how was you saving fuel there in the third stage? Was you worried about running out at any point? What was your pit strategy coming into the third stage?
So we knew we were close. We knew we were going to be close the whole time. And honestly, I just put my best Scott Dixon hat on and just decided to save fuel throughout the entire run. It's tough, especially at a track with such high overall speed. But as long as you can just, extend your braking zones a little bit, just do the best you can. It worked out, luckily. I think we were about 2 laps good to the finish.
Well, did everybody, what was your take of all the drivers out here? Obviously, we've had some crazy shenanigans the last couple of weeks with the, obviously, final spots up for grabs for the playoffs, but it looked like it was kind of a mediocre, quiet night tonight for sure.
Yeah, everybody that I was around was super respectful. Like I have nothing bad to say about anybody. It was an absolute ball. It's funny. I accidentally let Blake by there at the end of the first stage. I'm not sure if it was on the last laps of the stage or not. I thought the safety car had come out, but it was just a local caution. So it added some fun for everybody watching. So I'm sure that was great.
Well, man, it's a big win for you, isn't it? What else in the racing world do you do? And have you ever had any other iRacing wins?
Way back. This must have been 2012, 2013. I won the Daytona 500. It was a bottom split, but it's still
Oh,
a
wow.
win. Other than that, I'm mostly a sports car guy, so a lot of endurance racing, Daytona 24s, your Spa 12s, your used to do Le Mans when that was a thing. But yeah, big sports car guy, lots of prototypes. Just want to give a quick shout out to all my boys at Beaver Block. Good Canadian team. We finally got one, fellas.
Beaver Block winner, Mike Sargent, friend of the North. By the way, what part of Canada are you from, eh?
Originally Toronto, but I live in Montreal. So on the banner, go ahead and put Montreal.
Montreal Canadiens, Toronto Maple Leafs, definitely rivals of hockey that I like, for sure.
Go Leafs, baby.
That's right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Mike Sargent, winner tonight. The Canadian gets it done in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 150 here tonight at Canadian Tire. Keith Bradley, we got to get off the air, brother. I've got another iRacing broadcast commitment at the top of the hour, but, man, thank you for joining us. Adam Flieger as well. Always will get his final thoughts, but your final take of joining us in the booth and what we saw at the end of Canadian Tire with Mike Sargent picking up a win. And make no doubt, Daytona, one race in the regular season left. Boy, oh boy, I think the pressure mounts for next Monday night.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for letting me come up here and hang out tonight. I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. The racing was phenomenal. It was fun to see what Mike was able to do in his first race with NASRA, and hopefully we get to see him come back on Monday nights.
And we'll see how all of that shakes out. Adam Flieger, my friend, always fun working with you and directing with you, and you wear a lot of hats. And your final take of the race tonight, sir.
Oh, it was a fun one. I definitely enjoy seeing newcomers come out and really able to run well and take wins away from the regular season drivers. And with that being said, it's going to add a little bit. Definitely going to add a little bit to next week's playoff, as you didn't have a points winner win tonight. So you don't have a driver winning and locking in. It was a NASRA driver.
Well, the thing is like, as you said, Adam, in closing, the points winners did not win. A non-points guy gets it done, and now all this does is shuffle up the points with the battle for that final spots to make it into the Sweet Fast 20. Should be wild. Daytona next Monday night. Join us. Again, we're going to go live probably about 15 minutes earlier than usual because we want to set the stage for the entire season leading up to play the playoffs round number 2. Adam Flieger, of course, joining us again here tonight. Again, William Tiller, hopefully we'll have him back next week. I know he's still on vacation with family and loved ones. And again, thank you to Keith Bradley. Hey, by the way, don't forget, coming up this week, the Hot Lap podcast with Tyler Dittmer and Brady LaBeouf on Thursday night. In addition to that, we'll also have the Week 2 duels, Week 1 duel, Week 1 duel, 150 miles, 125 miles, 50 laps for the Daytona inaugural King of Daytona for the NASRA 250. That is part of the month-long NASRA special events. Again, $10 entry fee if you haven't signed up for it. Qualifying locked in, probably about 35-plus trucks last week. The field is set with at least the front row. But on back, the duel number 1, again, that'll again be this upcoming August 31st, duel number 1. Duel 2 will be again on September the 7th. And remember, the big race on Thursday night, September 14th. Hopefully you can make your plans to join us on the NASRA 360 Racing Network with myself and Brady LaBeouf on the broadcast call with Tyler Dittmer of that event, part of the NASRA special events. Daytona is in the balance next Monday night. 20 drivers at the end of the night will lock themselves in for the opportunity to compete for Season 2 of the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Championship. Will it be you? Who will it be? Those stories and the conclusions will be decided next Monday night. On behalf of Brady LaBeouf, Cody Dodd, and everybody with the North American Sim Racing Association, TJ Moore, the race director, for producer-director Adam Flieger, with Keith Bradley, the Season 6 NASRA Cops Series champion. This is Wesley Outland. Congratulations again to Road Course Ringer. Driver getting it done here tonight, upsetting it all, taking the checkered flag this evening. That driver's name is Canada's Mike Sargent. Good night. Be good to one another. We'll see you next Monday at Daytona.